down Lucky Future to make their way to the man to highlight the most is potentially Rough here. I would also make a fair argument for the performance of the tank line in Kaidia and Slush.
Yeah, and I also think in terms of, where is the sort of power in this lineup, you definitely look at Rough. I think Lovely's just had a pretty decent matchup. He's been one of their more well-known
at their winningest moments. O2 Blast, on the other hand, is a team made up of absolute star-studded talent, many of whom have been on teams at their highest points.
And I want to say this could be the highest point for O2. We really looked at last year as a potential for O2 to make a break for it, a potential for O2 to really break that surface, the gatekept surface that was always just give that to them.
Somebody already had to go through the effort of making the fancy version of the logo that they affixed to the front of these sort of... It's Crash Zoom time. Let's get stuck into our grand final, our second grand final.
Really interesting for both teams here. We've seen somewhat different styles. We have O2 Blast, not that different. I guess the core is the same, but O2 Blast have certainly been leaning a lot more. And O2 Blast do need set up because they need Pelican in the right places, and the turret is so annoying for him to deal with.
I also really want to keep eyes on the Zarya matchup. Both of these Zarya players really outpace their counterparts in their respective semifinals, but actually it's Kaidia with a big shatter and a massive cleanup. Good trade backs out of Proper and Kalios, but they're going to need a lot more than that, and unfortunately they do not have the means to get it now. I mean, sure.
Through Top Honor, a team that, as a reminder, against Lucky Future, the opening map, the opening round, they were behind 0-99. Now they're ahead 50-0. They got the grab. There it goes.
There it is. They need to get the follow-up, but they are in a bit of a tighter spot this time around. O2 Blast are kind of able to absorb that pressure, get their own grab out. They're not just going to go totally belly up in the face of the proactivity of Top Honor. And this is actually a huge opportunity for a turnaround from O2 Blast, not just in the context of this fight, but look at the ultimates. They are well put on the second fight. We're going to have to see now what Top Honor do from behind. That is something that we did see tested somewhat against Lucky Future. Both teams in very aggressively. All ultimates thrown down on the table from O2 Blast with the exception of that EMP and the Coalescence. Not sure if Rough really needed to go in for that Death Blossom. It certainly did pay off, and now Proper going to be able to run down some members of Top Honor, recharge a bit of that ultimate. O2 Blast preserving some critical ultimates, and Top Honor I think maybe overcommitting.
Nearly 60% by the end of this fight they'll have taken over.
I wanted to point out the grabs difference as well, because Kalios has now massively outpaced Slush. There is going to be the sound barrier mostly cancelled out by the EMP, and that's the issue. When there is both the EMP and the grab, you've owned a fight, though, here for Top Honor. They actually do come in with a good gamut of ultimates. Going to use the Coalescence to leverage onto the point, get the Molten Core down. Nice shatter! Finding the angle on Yakbung, getting the charge in as well. They need more pressure. They need to find Proper, but Proper instead finds his counterpart first. They do at least shut down Proper before the Death Blossom can come out, but now Top Honor maybe a little bit worse for wear than they would have really liked at this juncture. LVLZ down. O2 Blast just finding little picks, little holes here and there. Pelican comes in, finds another one. Now the respawn is in for O2 Blast, looking to force Top Honor back off the point, having not quite gained full possession of it, having not quite charged up the right ultimates at the right times. O2 Blast steer the ship through the rough waters and will close out the first point of these seconds.
And I want to know what Pelican is, because that's the flank that matters.
Nicely poised, though, on the point itself. Top Honor just ready to deal with whatever O2 Blast try and push forward with. It's going to be Proper once again. This time not as successful, though, at shutting it down, as Kaidia is going to go down early. Proper, with a little bit more support at his back, has a more successful push than what we saw on Gardens earlier. So with that all being the case, O2 Blast are going to get the favorable fight
line. They're looking at the stack. Pelican's looking at this EMP, and Lovely's has a lot of work to do.
And I felt that the question for Top Honor has been in this matchup, how do they find it from behind? Rough getting shut down is just, again, not quite making that headway. And so far, Top Honor have failed to successfully fight from behind, as O2 Blast are just rotating through their ultimates now, looking really
across both weeks of contenders. I'm saying they're probably, in fact, I know they're better than T1 right now. This is absolutely disgusting by them.
Huge manual hack onto Lovely's as the rest of the team is stuck in a grab. That's a freebie for O2 Blast. Might not be
manual hack, then going for the group EMP, and O2 Blast, oh my god, they just shut down Kaidia as well.
Struggling to make it on. They do at least get the sound barrier out, but they don't have any ultimates to leverage into. They don't have anything that they can utilize here. No grab, not even a Molten Core just yet, and so far from anything else, not even getting picks. O2 Blast keeping on top of Top Honor. Absolutely no issues there, and again, once O2 Blast are in control, they do not lose control, and Top Honor that also needs to be there. This is great for Top Honor, but I think the real measure of this team, even if they could beat a team like O2, is actually how well are they going to do next week? Are they really going to come back looking just as good?
Here, all these teams just trying to collect points. Top Honor guaranteed at least 50 points going after this week. And at this stage, I want to say they're still in the game. They're still in the running for potentially 100 points. They're basically playing the same things here. Respect the fact that we've got Zarya all around, so looking for the early grabs. Where's the early damage as well? Kaidi and Ruff both getting chunked out.
Yeah, going to have to play a little bit more cautiously, and that's been a window of opportunity for Pelican, and I mean, it's now a bit more than a window of opportunity. It's actually a window that's been smashed open, and now O2 Blast are rummaging through your drawers, trying to find your valuables. Top Honor getting absolutely steamrolled there, and it felt like that with
Sombra. Top Honor can't allow that to happen, so they got to go fast.
That's a big pick onto Proper early, though, and that could actually be a window. Nice Earth Shatter from Kaidia, and they've just kind of pulled one out of nowhere. They didn't really have a lot of ultimates aside from that Earth Shatter.
Just got your reference. Very well
Thank
played.
you.
Top Honor, look, they had not a lot of time to play, though. I was saying, look, they need to be a lot faster here. They can't allow Pelican to get in position. That's exactly what happened. But now I'm looking at Pelican again. He's got time to get in there deep.
Yakfilm is just so willing to get aggressive, barrels on forward with the healing at his back. It opens the way for Proper to get such an impressive...
Very fast with their rotations, very fast with moving forward. Kalios in the great position.
Speaking of fast, Pelican, it doesn't even matter that he's stuck in a grab, but it might just now, actually, with Yakfung also down. The counter grab from Slush has pulled a bit of weight, but they need to deal with Proper. They can't just rely on Ruff to pull out the big plays when needed. Was that not an environmental kill? Where did they go? What just happened?
I'm pretty sure Ruff had a TP, so he shadow stepped back onto the point, still alive now. Where's Pelican? I'm still waiting for the EMP, but they don't need to use it.
Ruff did finally die. It wasn't actually an environmental kill, but...
Proper knows as well, rolls super well, working with Pelican as well to secure kills, who, by the way, still waiting for this EMP. They haven't needed it, but now they're finally going to drop it.
And look at how quickly they kill Slush as well. The target prioritization is so clean from O2 Blast. Top Honor, oh, that's a really late Earth Shatter to commit from Kaidia, and not a particular... Might just be in the better position. That's going to be an early sound barrier. Good shatter out from Yakbun, but he's still taking so much heat despite the extra health from the sound barrier. Good EMP from Pelican allows them to trade off Ruff, but honestly, Top Honor, they've still got some pretty deep pockets, and following up on that grab means they are able to through a Molten Core when the time is right. Kalios will have a grab, but that is all they will have to work with. Is now there's the push forward. The Molten Core is a manual hack, but it wasn't quite in time. They do still finish off Spirit, but it's not where they want it to be. It is not in a choke point. O2 Blast can just kind of wait it out and par the round, and now they push back in with a numbers advantage.
It's up to
Respawn
Kaidia.
will come in. Kaidia, the Earth Shatter does not get the work done. He gets drilled down now. It is a 5v6, 4v6 now as O2 Blast with proper guns trained firmly on every member of Top Honor, all angles at once. It's just boom, 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 or indeed disparity. But that's a big pickup fighting Pelican early, and now Ruff with the wraparound looking to drill down some damage on these tanks as they go into full retreat because Top Honor are massively on the front foot. Ruff wants to get aggressive. They want to bottle up proper. He's going to find the second DPS of this go-around, finds Yakfung too, and finally, we're seeing the Ruff that we saw against Lucky Future. We're seeing them, and in that regard, Top Honor are looking healthy.
And Lovely's nearly has a sound barrier. Neko does not quite have one yet. Teams looking like they want to commit.
Big. And as I say it, with the charge on ultimates where it needed to be for Top Honor.
Playing back, Top Honor can't have many of these resets if they want to get that going for them.
Big commit from O2 Blast. Again, they're looking to get aggressive, looking to get proactive. This is what Top Honor were so good at dealing with last time around, and they have seemed to have done so, but that's massive! The Death Blossom out from Pelican, a decent shatter from Kaidi to try and keep...
Well, we are going to counter aggression with the sound barrier play, which is exactly what they did. Top Honor was still waiting for Graviton Surge. Slush was so close. If he lives, he grabs, and they can still win, but he will use it now.
I feel like O2 Blasters really know their limits in these fights. That's the Shatter. That's going to be a brilliantly placed Molten Core and a massive cleanup once again from O2 Blast, who, like I said, it feels like they know their limits, and it feels like they also just have a better tab. Solid, looking like the better of the two teams, and that's not entirely unexpected as now the play comes. Early catch onto Ruff, and how many times is it going to happen? O2 Blast, they have the better play. They have the better handle on the fight. The positioning is cleaner, is tighter. They know exactly where Top Honor are trying to go, and what was Top Honor's strength against Lucky Future, seen on the fight, they're in a more strengthened position, and also they just have way more ultimates. Sound barriers to match to start with, but that means Kalios gets a free grab. That's a nice shatter as well, just layering it all on top of it, slathering it on thick. Down the last gasp from Top Honor on Eichenbolder. That is 2-0 up in the grand final. It's starting to feel second place if you're able to keep taking it week on week, because honestly, if these top fours end up being as changeable as they have been for a ticket to the grand finals in the long run.
It's been a while since we've seen Hanamura. I think the first one so far of the 2020 season.
To finally have their day in the sun.
And they're going to get a little bit of action here with Proper on a Symmetra. Now, this Symmetra setup could be really good, but they got to get on the point. The teleporter already failed. Yakpung's in trouble.
Slush and Ruff as well are in massive trouble. I mean, it's kind of worked out for them. They just kept a lid on those tanks, and Backskin and Lovelies never really
looked or shot at Proper. That was basically the dream scenario for any Symmetra player now as they walk into this B point.
It's the old free real estate, but Proper manually hacked out. This one's not looking like it's going to be as smooth unless Pelican has something to say about it. So, again, just drilling down those tanks. The pressure is all there. They are really aware of where they need to apply the pressure above all else. It's like some kind of surgical sledgehammer. It hits you very hard, but very precise. Do is get a big time, and then have a much better defense the next go around. It's so much of that.
Lovely's is down. I mean, that's a big problem for them because now they're going to be behind in the ult charge in that regard.
Also, the push is just slower. Yakpung, a lot of pressure, but Slush not quite able to finish him off. In fact, ring around the rosy. Slush is going to get finished off before Yakpung even dies. In fact, Yakpung isn't even going to die. This is unbelievable from O2 Blast. Top Honor almost tunnel visioning on these low members, not appreciating the full scope of the fight. The fact that Yakpung is just sitting pretty with all these DPSs either side of Slush, drilling him down while he desperately...
This player, Pelican's got high ground. He's even got eyes and Lovelies right now.
Pelican able to get into the back line there, looking to put some pressure on Backsin, but with that Coalescence, he knows he can't just stand right down the middle of it. Still, it's a lot of damage being washed across the rest of Top Honor, and despite both Reinhardt's being low, it's only Cardia that goes down because, again, Pelican just has the better angle, has the better positioning, and has more options to unload on the tanks of Top Honor.
You're about to see a very critical fight. This is going to be a full reset for Top Honor now, but both tanks are about to get their ultimates now, and they got to use them. This should be their push.
And if this one doesn't work, then you really have to start asking questions. Will it ever really happen? And already Lovely's down. Yakpung, early death, but it's answered. It's matched, in fact, and no mileage out of those ultimates for Top Honor, unfortunately for them. I don't know, for what has been such a strong performance so far, they're just unable to make any headway. O2 Blast are leagues and leagues ahead on not only this defense, but also their ridiculously fast offense. This is an absolute outclassing in every sense of the word.
And a single percentage point.
And to that end, it feels like maybe it's not going to end in a bang, but in some kind of slow grind and whimper out as the Grav into the fight win. They tried to get tricky with...
Not great. They do get ultimates out of O2 Blast, but that's the only thing they work with, and they don't have an advantage, even though they got used.
They're going to go in one last dance. The sound barrier out first, matched by Neko. A huge shatter from the side from Yakpung in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Second from the Top Honor, O2 Blast, 3-0. Finally, top dog in Korean Contenders. It is their day in the sunshine. They have reaped everything they have sowed across so